Parker Schnabel makes one of the most serious moves of his mining career in Season 16. This is not a small adjustment or routine upgrade. This is a full shift in how he plans to mine gold, manage risk, and lead his crew. The season begins under heavy pressure, and every decision Parker makes carries more weight than ever before. The ground is tougher, the costs are higher, and expectations are already sky high. From the very start, it is clear that this season will test Parker, not only as a miner, but as a leader and decision maker. The moment the new machine shuts down for the first time, the entire site freezes. The sound disappears and silence takes over. Everyone's attention turns toward Parker. No one speaks loudly, but the tension is easy to feel. Faces show concern, confusion, and fear. This is not just about a machine stopping, this is about trust. The crew wants answers, but more than that, they want reassurance. They want to know what happens next and whether the decision to bring this machine was the right one. Parker has faced pressure before, but this moment feels different. The stakes are higher than ever. This machine is not cheap. The season depends on it. The crew depends on it. Parker does not rush to speak. He does not raise his voice. He listens. This is how he has always led. He lets the crew talk first. Some point out alignment risks, others mention fuel burn and possible damage. No one is disrespectful, but everyone is worried. Parker stays calm and focused. Instead of reacting with emotion, Parker asks simple questions. What exactly feels off? Is the issue small or serious? How much time would a full test take? Is a restart possible without major risk? These questions bring order to chaos. The crew begins to feel steadier because Parker is not guessing. He is breaking the problem down step by step. In moments like this, leadership is not about shouting orders. It is about clarity. After listening to all sides, Parker makes a decision. He chooses a controlled restart with a quick fix. No drama, no panic, just clear instructions. The crew understands his call, even if fear still lingers. This is the moment where Parker proves why he is in charge. Even if the outcome is uncertain, his calm gives the crew confidence. They know they are not alone in this risk. Earlier in the day, when the machine first stopped, engineers and senior crew members rushed to inspect it. Alignment tools came out, parts were checked, and discussions became more serious. Everyone knew there was not enough time for a full reset. The weather window was small, the ground was ready. Every lost hour meant lost money. In mining, time is everything. Parker had two choices. He could play it safe and lose valuable time, or take a risk and keep moving forward. The fear was visible in the crew's eyes. If the fix failed, it could damage the machine and possibly the entire season. Parker asked engineers direct questions. Is the issue manageable? Are parts in danger? The answers were mixed, but most agreed that a careful restart was possible. Parker knew this was a gamble, but mining has always been about risk. He approved the fix. Only essential checks were done, no full testing. When the machine restarted, every second felt heavy. No one breathed easily. This uncertainty is what makes mining so brutal. You never know if you are seconds away from success or disaster. After a few hours of operation, it was time for the first cleanup. The gold room went silent. Cleanup always tells the truth. There are no excuses when gold is weighed. Parker stood with the crew as the numbers came in. The result was not what anyone expected. The gold count was slightly lower than hoped, but not a failure. It was neither a victory nor a loss. Some crew members felt relief. Others felt disappointment. The quick fix worked enough to keep things running, but questions remained. Was the alignment still off? Was the machine running at full power, or was the ground itself the problem? No one had clear answers. Parker looked at the numbers and said little. He knew the first cleanup was not the final judgment, but expectations were high. As Season 16 moves forward, every cleanup becomes a pressure test. The future of the season now depends on consistency. If the machine stabilizes, recovery stays high, and downtime stays low, the season could be massive. Based on data and processing power, the season could reach numbers few have seen before. Daily yardage could nearly double. More dirt means more gold, and possibly
huge payout. But mining always has a dark side.
If the machine becomes unreliable, fuel costs rise and breakdown to increase, the same numbers that promise success could turn into loss. The machine alone costs millions. Fuel burn is higher than ever. Maintenance is expensive. A bad run of days could push the season into the red. Parker knows that every day he is gambling. At the start of season 16, Parker brings in a machine that shocks everyone on site. This is not a normal upgrade. It is a power shift. The cost is around $2.5 million. Fuel use is about 30% higher, but processing power is nearly double. That means double the risk and double the reward. Parker knows the competition is fierce. The ground is deeper and harder. Gold recovery will decide everything. That is why he refuses to play it safe. He goes all in. But problems appear almost immediately. Calibration issues, belt alignment trouble, and moments when the entire operation freezes. Each pause feels like a warning. If this machine fails, Parker's money and reputation are on the line. The pressure on Parker this season is heavier than ever. People expect him to win every year. The crew depends on him for their pay and future. Fuel prices are high. Daily burn costs thousands of dollars. One bad week can ruin a season. On top of that, Parker faces reputation pressure. If he plays safe, people call him slow. If he takes risks and fails, they call him reckless. There is no easy path. The reason Parker chose this upgrade becomes clear when looking at the old machine. It had served him well, but by season 16 it was outdated. Its processing speed was too slow for the new ground. Recovery rates were lower than needed. Experts believe 18 to 20% of gold was being lost daily. That meant millions slipping away over the season. Downtime was another major issue. The old plant needed frequent repairs, belt slips, screen clogs, water flow problems. Each breakdown cost hours. In mining, weather waits for no one. Processing limits made the problem worse. Clay-heavy ground reduced efficiency even further. Parker knew that sticking with the old setup meant settling for average results. One night, Parker gathered the crew. The mood was serious. Everyone knew a big decision was coming. Some worried about the budget. Others feared a mid-season upgrade was too risky. Parker listened. Then he spoke honestly. Playing safe would mean an average season. A jackpot required risk. He admitted he was scared, but more scared of falling behind. With one calm sentence, he made the call. Do it now or regret it later. When the new machine arrived, everything changed. Its size alone showed it was no small upgrade. The sound was deeper and stronger than the old plant. The crew felt both excitement and fear. The machine promised power, but power demands control. It offered faster rotation, wider sluice systems, and stronger water flow. Processing capacity nearly doubled. This machine cost more than just money. Fuel use jumped. Maintenance costs rose. A single breakdown could cost tens of thousands of dollars. But if it worked, daily gold recovery could reach huge numbers. Parker was now gambling every single day. The technology behind the machine explains the risk. A wider sluice means less gold loss. A faster but controlled trommel processes more dirt without shedding gold. Improved water flow allows gold to settle better. Recovery rates rise from around 80% to over 90%. That difference could mean millions over a season. The crew's reaction was mixed. Some smiled, others stood back in fear. Everyone asked the same silent question: what if it fails? The first day of operation was tense. The sound was unfamiliar. The feed began smoothly, but soon vibrations changed. Clay-heavy dirt tested the system. Parker slowed the feed to stabilize it. The machine held, but the tension stayed. Then came an unexpected moment. Strange vibrations. Belt movement looked off. The machine was stopped. Silence returned. Every minute of downtime meant money lost. A calibration issue might seem small, but it could lead to big damage. The crew waited. Was this a warning or a simple fix?
Change that belief. The journals showed that gold could also be a burden. It could attract danger, stir conflict, and pull people into struggles they never asked for. John Schnabel understood this long before Parker did. Parker spoke about the pressure his grandfather must have felt carrying that secret alone. At the time, there were no cameras, no teams of experts, no protection. John was just a miner who stumbled into something much bigger than himself. Instead of chasing profit, he chose to protect the truth by hiding it. Parker said that choice likely saved lives, including his own family's. As days passed, the claim remained under watch. Rangers and local authorities helped secure the area, not because of gold theft, but because of what the documents represented. Historians carefully examined the journals, confirming that many references did not match known records. This meant parts of history may have been lost, hidden, or erased, and now slowly returning to light. Parker made it clear that he would not rush any decision. He refused offers to sell, display, or move the items without proper study. He said that fast choices driven by excitement were what caused mistakes in the past. His goal was to protect the truth, not to control it or use it for gain. The crew noticed a change in Parker after the vault was opened. He was still focused, still driven, but quieter. He listened more. He asked questions instead of giving orders. It was clear that leadership now meant more than running machines and hitting targets. It meant protecting people, history, and trust. Parker also addressed the rumors spreading online. He said many stories exaggerated the truth, turning it into fantasy. There were no curses, no magic, and no promises of endless riches. What existed was real human history, shaped by fear, survival, and movement across the world. He asked people to respect that difference. He confirmed that the canyon marked on the map would not be mined like a normal site. Any exploration would be slow, careful, and guided by experts. If the land held more evidence, it would be handled with respect. Parker said that some places are not meant to be stripped for profit, but understood. The vault itself became a symbol on the claim, not of secrecy, but of responsibility. The crew knew that working near it meant being part of something larger than mining. Even the sounds of the claim felt different, quieter, more controlled. Parker reflected on what success truly meant. He said breaking gold records no longer felt as important as honoring the trust his grandfather placed in him. The real test was not how much gold he could pull from the ground, but how well he could protect what should never be lost again. As winter settled deeper into the Yukon, the claim slowed, but the work around the vault continued. Documents were preserved, notes were taken, and plans were made carefully. Parker stayed involved in every step, refusing to hand responsibility to anyone else. He confirmed that this story was not finished. What was hidden for generations would take time to fully understand. Some answers might never come, but he believed that facing the truth was better than living around it. In the end, Parker said his grandfather gave him more than a mining operation. He gave him a lesson about restraint, respect, and courage. Courage not to chase everything that shines, and strength to protect what cannot be replaced. The claim vault no longer holds just objects. It holds a reminder that gold can build futures, but truth defines them. Parker Schnabel finally confirmed what he hid inside, and in doing so accepted a role far greater than miner. He became a guardian of a story that waited patiently to be told. As time went on, Parker began to understand that opening the vault was only the first step. What followed was not excitement, but responsibility. Each document, each marking, and each map required care. Experts worked slowly, taking notes and photos, making sure nothing was damaged. Parker stayed close, watching, listening, learning. He did not rush them, and he did not push for answers before they were ready. He spoke openly with the crew about why he chose to share the truth now. He said the world had changed. Secrets no longer stay buried forever. Someone always talks, someone always notices. By telling the story himself, Parker believed he could protect it better than if it were dragged into the open by rumors or outsiders with their own goals. The crew respected that choice. They had worked beside Parker for years and knew he was not someone who chased attention. If he had hidden something, there was always a reason. Now they saw that reason clearly. This was not about fame or shock. It was about carrying something forward the right way. Parker also admitted that he struggled with doubt after opening the vault. Some nights he wondered if keeping it hidden would have been easier. Life before the vault felt simpler. Mine the ground, fix the machines, hit the goal. But once the truth was known, it could not be unknown. He said that growth often comes with discomfort, and this was his. The journals continued to reveal small details, names without full histories, routes without clear endings, symbols repeated across different pages. The pattern suggested movement, escape, and fear. These were not records made by people who felt safe. They were written by people trying to survive and protect something they believed mattered more than their own comfort. Parker said this helped him see mining differently. Every piece of land has a story long before machines arrive. Gold does not appear for one generation alone. It passes through time, touching many lives. Forgetting that history makes it easy to take without thought. As interest grew, Parker set firm boundaries. No one entered the vault without permission, no filming of the documents without specific agreement. He wanted to protect the truth from exploitage and care-up. Parker also clarified his relationship with John. He said their differences were often exaggerated for the show. They did argue, yes, but they also listened. Parker gave John credit for teaching him about patience and foresight. Yes, John was tough on the cameras, but he was also wise in supportive circles. He said that guidance now made him a better leader. The crew noticed that Parker's demeanor had shifted from focused to calmer. He made decisions more deliberately and listened to their opinions more openly. He explained that his goal was now not just to meet gold numbers, but to honor the history he had uncovered. He imagined his grandfather watching him and knew that he was trusted to carry this forward the right way. This change also affected the work on the claim. The area around the vault became quieter, more respected, and even more secure. The experts continued their examination, reconstructing small parts of the past one piece at a time. Each photo, each map detail revealed more about how people moved and survived. They did not just travel eastward, they scattered, changing directions often, leaving decoys and false trails. This suggested that they were being pursued, not just traveling freely. Parker knew this added layers to the story and committed to protecting it. He emphasized that he wouldn't hand control of the documents to anyone for any reason. He felt the responsibility weighed heavily, but he accepted it willingly. As the first days of discovery turned into weeks, it was clear that Parker had grown more than a mining operation. He had grown himself. He had faced an unexpected test and emerged with a deeper understanding of leadership, purpose, and responsibility. The story of the vault was not finished, it was just beginning. And in the process, Parker Schnabel became the guardian of an important legacy, a story that waited patiently for the right person to tell it.
Define success. Profit does. Weather becomes another challenge. Rain slows operations. Wet ground clogs systems. The machine handles it better than the old plant, but not perfectly. Parker makes tough calls on when to push and when to pause. Each decision feels like a gamble. The crew watches closely. They see the weight Parker carries. One afternoon, a minor issue appears again. A belt drifts slightly offline. This time, the crew reacts quickly. The machine is stopped, adjusted, and restarted in less than an hour. What once felt like a crisis now feels like a problem that can be managed. This change in response shows growth. The crew is becoming more confident. Parker notices this shift. He sees less fear in their faces and more focus. Trust is building again, not just in the machine, but in the process. This is something money cannot buy. It comes only from facing pressure together and surviving it. As the weeks go on, gold totals begin to climb slowly. Not dramatically, but steadily. Recovery rates improve. Downtime decreases. The machine begins to show why Parker took the risk. It processes more dirt each day than the old setup ever could. The ground remains tough, but the system adapts. Still, Parker remains cautious. He knows that mining can turn without warning. One major part failure could stop everything. Fuel prices could rise again. Weather could shut them down for days. He never lets himself believe the season is safe. One evening, Parker stands alone near the machine as it runs. He listens closely, just as he did on the first day. The sound feels familiar now, almost reassuring. He knows every tone, every rhythm. This machine is no longer just equipment. It is the heart of the operation. Season 16 continues to unfold with no guarantees. The risk Parker took has not yet made him a king, nor has it destroyed him. It has placed him on a narrow path where every step matters. The machine upgrade has changed the season, not by delivering instant success, but by raising the stakes higher than ever before. What lies ahead could still go either way. A massive gold pocket could turn this into one of the greatest seasons ever. A single failure could erase months of work. Parker understands this better than anyone. That is why he stays calm, focused, and alert. This is not just a story of machines and gold. It is a story of pressure, leadership, and choice. Parker Schnabel has chosen to face risk head-on. Season 16 is now defined by that choice, and the outcome is still being written, one day, one decision, and 1 ounce of gold at a time. As the days stretch into weeks, the reality of Season 16 becomes clearer to everyone on site. This is not a season that will be decided by one lucky cleanup or one strong run. It is a season that will be decided by endurance. The crew feels it in their bodies and minds. Long shifts, cold mornings, and constant alertness begin to take their toll. Yet no one backs down because everyone knows what is at stake. Parker feels the pressure more than anyone. Every morning starts the same way. He checks reports, reviews numbers, and walks the site before most of the crew arrives. He wants to spot problems before they grow. He knows that with a machine this powerful, small issues can quickly turn into big ones if ignored. His leadership style remains steady. He does not rush decisions, and he does not panic under stress. This calm presence keeps the crew grounded. The machine continues to perform better with each adjustment. The crew learns its behavior. They understand how it reacts to different types of dirt. When clay gets heavier, they slow the feed. When gravel loosens, they push slightly harder. This balance becomes a daily exercise. Too much caution wastes potential. Too much aggression risks breakdown. Every hour is a calculation. Fuel costs remain a constant worry. Trucks arrive regularly, delivering diesel that disappears faster than anyone would like. Parker tracks fuel use carefully. He knows that even with good gold recovery, uncontrolled fuel burn can eat profits quickly. Some days the gold numbers look strong, but the costs bring them back down to earth. Mining is never just about what you pull out of the ground, it is about what you keep. One afternoon, weather turns against them again. Cold rain makes the ground slick and heavy. Water flow becomes harder to control. The machine struggles more than usual. Parker makes the call to slow operations. Some crew members are frustrated. Slowing down feels like giving up time. But Parker knows that pushing through bad conditions can cause more damage than good. A broken machine costs far more than a slow day. That decision proves wise. Later that evening, engineers notice early signs of wear. Of that choice. A quiet reminder that not everything valuable is meant to be taken, and not every secret is meant to stay buried forever. As the season moved forward, Parker found himself thinking more about the future than the past. What had been uncovered in the vault was not only about what once happened, but about what should happen next. He understood that his decisions would affect more than just his claim. They would affect how people viewed responsibility, history, and ownership in places shaped by hardship and survival. Parker spoke about how easy it is to forget that mining changes the land forever. Every cut, every wash, every ounce taken leaves a mark. Seeing the journals and maps made him more aware of that truth. The people who hid those items trusted the land to protect them. That trust deserved respect, not careless action. The crew noticed Parker slowing down certain operations near sensitive areas. It was not about fear of losing gold, it was about understanding the weight of what lay beneath the surface. Parker explained that sometimes the smartest move is knowing where not to dig. He also reflected on leadership. Before, leadership meant decisions made fast, under pressure. Now, it meant knowing when to pause. He said true leadership is not proven by how much you take, but by what you choose to leave untouched. The vault became a quiet place, not forbidden, but respected. Those who entered did so with purpose. There was no excitement, no boasting, just focus. The items inside were treated less like objects and more like voices from another time. Parker said he no longer felt alone carrying the secret. Sharing it, even carefully, lifted a weight he had carried since his grandfather passed. The burden was now shared, and with that came clarity. Silence had protected the truth for a time, but honesty would protect it going forward. As spring light returned to the Yukon, Parker stood once more outside the vault. He said he felt his grandfather there, not in memory, but in understanding. The lesson was clear. Gold can be found again. History cannot. Parker confirmed that the vault would remain part of the claim, not as a mystery, but as a reminder. A reminder that some discoveries change you, not your bank account. They change how you see the world, the land, and your place within it. He said this was not the end of the story. It was the beginning of a different